Last Minute Laura. I'm Laura, and today I am going to teach you something new about the natural dyeing spectrum. What we're going to be doing today is making our own wood ash solution, which is an alkaline solution that you use as an afterbath in natural dyeing to modify your dye colors. This skein was dyed with just one ingredient, black walnuts. But you can see across the skein there's multiple colors going on. We've got really dark browns that go nearly black. We've got some muted brown tones and even some bright orange tones. The black was achieved through afterbaths of iron water. So if you want to know about iron water, I'll link that video down below. And the more bright orange brown was achieved with wood ash water as an afterbath. So by dyeing in an acidic solution, which is what the iron is, it changes the color one way. By dyeing in an alkaline solution, it changes the color in a different way. This is just highly alkaline, so it's got a pH of like 15. You want to wear gloves when you're handling it. It's very basic. So what that does is it tends to brighten the colors. It'll bring your shades of yellow up to something a little brighter, less like a banana yellow, more like a lemon yellow. You can get some kind of modifications like that just from using this ingredient. The great thing about this is that you can make it at home yourself. Yesterday, I had a little campfire outside and I burned some wood. This morning when I woke up, all of the wood had disappeared, of course, and we were left with two byproducts of the wood. We get charcoal. That's not what we need for this one. The other thing we get is ashes. So to make the wood ash solution, you need ashes and you need water, and that's it. You also need a jar, a good jar that has a lid. I prefer using glass just because I didn't really think this through when I started, so bear with me as I just do these very small shovels of ashes. If you get a few pieces of charcoal into your mixture, it's not going to ruin it, so don't worry or anything. But what we're going to be doing is adding all of these ashes. I have, I think, about 1 cup, maybe just a little more than 1 cup of the ashes from a fire. And we're adding that into a mason jar. And then we're going to just cover it with water. From there, you have to leave the jar for about 2 weeks. And after that 2-week period has elapsed, you'll see that the water has a little bit of a cloudy, slightly yellowy green hue to it. And if you touch the solution, it's slimy between your fingers. That's how you know when it's ready. That texture change is a clear indication. You can also grab some pH test strips for very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. I'll link some down below, the ones that I use. And you can just use pH test strips to test the pH of it. Once it hits 11, 15, whatever number you decide works, then you've got your ready to use alkaline afterbath. This is just a fun way to make it completely homemade when you're doing natural dye. It's just like the iron water. Of course you can buy powdered iron and do it quickly and easily, but it's kind of fun to be able to say the whole process was handmade. So now that we've got all of the ashes in the jar, I'm just going to cover them with some water. And I'm probably actually going to double that amount of water. But I will let that sit for now. And I just seal it really well. And nothing much is going to happen. There's not going to be like bubbling or anything crazy. The water just over time is going to separate from the mud of the ashes, just like this. And you'll end up with this sort of sandy looking base and then a cloudy, yellowy green looking top. It doesn't have much of a smell to it at all, although I don't know if it's like not a good idea to be smelling it, so maybe don't smell it. But I want to show you what it does. So here I've got some dye that I just took from a bath that I'm working on downstairs. And this one is from Black Eyed Susans. So I took the blossoms of a couple of cups of Black Eyed Susans and boiled them for a couple of hours and got this nice golden sort of amber liquid. And when I add just a teaspoon of the alkaline mix, it immediately darkens the liquid. If I add just a little more, hold on. I don't usually work in teaspoons, I usually work in quarter cups. If I add a little bit more, it changes the entire color to this sort of green color, and it'll modify your yarn. So if you've dyed your yarn this beautiful amber, golden amber, and then you dip just a little bit in some wood ash solution after the fact, you're going to end up changing the color of your yarn, and it's permanent. It creates a permanent change on your yarn, which is really cool, and I think really a fun way to play with color. So don't throw out your charcoal. There's lots of different crafts you can do with charcoal. Okay, so let me just glance at my bullet journal here where I've got my instructions so I can tell you exactly how to use it. So the process: have a campfire, and of course toasting marshmallows is optional. Collect the cooled ashes, add them to a large glass container, cover with water, add double the amount of water to the amount of ashes, close the lid with a good tight lid, and leave the container for 1 to 2 weeks. To use it, once it's ready after those 2 weeks, add 1/4 cup of the solution all the way up to 1 cup. You can play around with the color. Dilute it in water, add it to a large container, or add it to the remainder of your dye bath. So you can add 1/4 cup of the wood ash solution to your dye bath and then dip your yarn one more time, or you can mix it with water, take your yarn out and dip it in there. So submerging your water until the color presents, that can be pretty much instantly for some dyes. For some dyes it takes half an hour though, so you may need to submerge your yarn for a little while. Then you remove your dyed item as normal and rinse it and wash it and then leave it to hang to dry. I do have a little asterisk. Be careful, wear gloves, and wash your hands after handling the solution. Since it is basic, I mean, it's still corrosive, right? Caustic, it's caustic? Like bleach, it's basic. So it's not an acid, it's a base, but be careful. All chemical things, be careful. Also, I have on my results list to say, wood ash solution can brighten and deepen natural dye colors. So there is my little bullet journal spread for the wood ash solution. I like to have a bullet journal spread for every little thing that I make. So I hope you like bullet journals the way that I do. And I hope that this video is something that you try out in your natural dye journey. I really do hope you try it because A, it's super easy. B, it looks kind of cool to have all of these like alchemy jars on your shelf. People come over and say like, what do you make in there? You can explain, and now you're a chemist because you're dealing with acids and bases and making color and modifying color. So again, I really do hope you give it a shot because it's super easy and all you need is a little bit of ashes. So have a campfire, or go to your friend's house and have a campfire, or go camping. Do something to make fire that isn't pyrotechnical bad stuff, and then collect the ashes, mix with water, and make your own wood ash solution at home. That's all I've got for you for today, friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I put out a new video every single day. I'm putting out 3 edited videos a week along with 5 live streams. So we've got 8 videos coming out every single week on the channel. Don't forget to like the video and let me know down below if you've tried it, if you've made it, and what your results were. Also, last plug of the video, if you like any of the yarns you see in my video, check out www.lastminutelaura.ca. I'll link that down below, and you can see all of the yarns that I have for sale on the website. They ship anywhere, and we have 1 flat shipping rate. So, check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!